They've sprouted. Now what do we do?
I'm coming home.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So if you remember, maybe about a week ago, we went ahead and planted lettuce seeds to see if they would germinate and so that we could get our lettuce heads straight from seeds because the ones that we have planted did not do that well. Well, fast forward a week, they've germinated. So after talking to a couple of friends at the farmer's market and watching a couple of YouTube videos, I finally figured out what we need to do now. So we're going to go ahead and move the lettuce seedlings to bigger pots, prune a couple of them, pull some out, and go from there. So we're also going to be doing a fish emulsion tea today. Sarah from Living Traditions Homestead just did a video on fertilization to help the tomatoes grow a little bit faster, sturdier, thicker, bushier. I'm going to leave her video right up here. But we're going to do that today and actually pour it on the plants and see if it will give them a good jump start, because although ours are doing well, they're not doing fabulous. So let's go ahead and head over to the greenhouse and we can see how the lettuce is looking. Alrighty, so we're in the greenhouse, and as you see, our tomato plants, they're just not bushy at all. I did prune the top so that they wouldn't grow tall anymore and bushier, but I think that the fertilization is going to help these bad boys. Our peppers are the same way, so maybe a good fertilization. Same thing for the green beans. Oh, something's eating the green beans. WTF. And our eggplants are slow growing, but still okay. But the star of the show right now is that our stuff has germinated. So now I'm going to take these over and we are going to repot them. And I think that's spinach right there. And this is the prize head lettuce and romaine. None of our cabbage has sprouted. Wah, wah, wah. I'm going to have to try that again. But yeah, so let's go ahead and go over and get them replanted. Okay, so I did some viewing online, and I was somewhat correct. That this is the spinach, this is the prize head, and this is the romaine. So it is that our cabbage has not germinated, which is actually really sad. But we'll try again. So now let's get it potted. So I'm taking it out of the biodegradable planter because they don't biodegrade as fast as I'd like. And I'm putting them just in like you would do any other plants. I'm pushing them down and then pinching off all except two. And they'll look a little droopy for the first time, but I'm going to give them a good drink of water before we put them back in the greenhouse. So I'm going to continue with that, and then we're going to go put them in the greenhouse and start up the fish emulsion tea. Alrighty, y'all, so they're all planted. So now we're going to go and sit in the shade, because it is hot, and mix up this fish emulsion tea so all these babies can get a drink. Alright, so now that we're back here in the somewhat shade, hopefully the lighting's good. Y'all know, if you've been watching our videos for a while, we just love us some Sarah and Kevin from Living Traditions Homestead. We've learned a lot of our tricks from them in the garden, along with Andrea and Ben at VW Family Farm, and Jess and Jeremiah at Roots and Refuge. So, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, we did a video on Sarah and Kevin's fertilization schedule that they do for their plants, and have tried it, and it has really worked. And maybe a couple days ago, Sarah put out a video on kind of like teas, compost teas. So you got the fish emulsion compost tea, you have a rabbit manure, and I can't remember the third one that she did. But when Sarah says something for fertilization, I listen, because it works. So we have been using fish emulsion once every 2 weeks for the seedlings at 1 tablespoon for every gallon of water. And now that they're larger, you can kind of up the amount that you use. One thing that Sarah said in her video is that there's 3 numbers that for fertilization that you should look for. You've got the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and the potassium. So when seedlings are starting out and trying to get leaves, more nitrogen is good. When they're trying to establish a good root system, phosphorus is good, along with nitrogen. But when you want to have more flowers, buds, and fruits, potassium is what you need to add. So right now, as you saw in our videos, our tomatoes and really our peppers are kind of behind. I started seed and transplanted them a little later than is ideal. They still look good, but what I want them to do is get bushier and put more leaves. So that's when you want to have more nitrogen, which fish emulsion is a fast way. There's lots of different types online. I'll leave the one that we got in our Amazon list that we have for all the supplies that we use. But really all of them are good. All of it's organic to use fish emulsion. It smells terrible, but it's good for your plants. And you want to use all that you make up that day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, this is a 1 gallon bucket. We have baking soda for our bath products that we make. And I keep the buckets because they're great little gallon buckets. I'm going to go cray-cray because it's set up here. You can use up to 4 tablespoons in a gallon of water. So I'm going to go cray-cray and do 3 because I need our plants a good jump start. So I'm not measuring, I'm just going to eyeball it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, smells terrible. And I'm going to fill it up with water and then I'll meet you back over at the greenhouse. So we're going to use a little cup and pour it at the root system. Normally I spray it like a foliar spray, but today I'm going to get it into the roots because I want the roots to soak it up and grow some more leaves because we're ready for tomatoes. Alrighty y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this video on us replanting our lettuce and spinach seedlings and making the fish emulsion compost tea. If you're enjoying these videos from me, Mom, Brother Chris, and Tara, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you know anytime new content drops to our channel. Share our videos on social media, and while you're there, like at Instagram and Facebook at Ormsby Farm. And until next video, thank you so much for stopping by our little homestead. Be blessed.
I'm coming home.